Good morning, everyone. This is your weather forecast for Saturday and Sunday, September 27th and 28th for Western Long Island Sound. And this forecast is brought to you by the American Yacht Club Fall Regatta for all of you participants. My name is Chelsea. I am with Sea Tactics, and I'm going to be going through the weather for you today and tomorrow. So, what we are starting out with today is a stalled frontal boundary that's sitting basically just to the northeast of us. It's going to be lifting out as we have some lower pressure to the south, kind of inching up towards us. So basically, all that really means is breeze is, as we know, pretty light out there because of the high pressure. It also means that we have clouds that are going to be streaming up from this low that is going to be kind of bumping up a little bit north towards our area. So if we take a look at the satellite this morning, we see a lot of high clouds coming from the south, and the cloud cover is going to continue to increase this afternoon, especially after about 12 or 1 o'clock. We should see more of this, even mid level and slightly lower clouds starting to approach over us. So while we have a good bit of sun here, it's going to start to cloud up more into this afternoon. So that's also going to affect our breeze and any potential sea breeze that is working on the Connecticut shoreline. Taking a look at the observations here this morning, again, this is about 10:30 in the morning. So we see that there's just that lingering little bit of kind of northeast to east northeast gradient. We had a little bit of that this morning. That's left over from that front that you saw. But it is gradually diminishing. So we've had pressure coming down on pretty much all of the Western Long Island sensors through the morning. We can see it's near Stamford. It's kind of just turned into the southeast and gone pretty light at 3 to 4 knots. And then there's still just a lingering bit of pressure out here, but it is diminishing. So what the expectation is that this is going to decrease, and we're looking for either a little bit of east northeast gradient, or if we are kind of northeast of Rye and up towards Greenwich and Stamford, there will be a little bit of sea breeze up here, but very light. So I'll go walk through that in just a second. At first, I just want to kind of show you the model for the HRR for the cloud cover today. Like I mentioned, we see more of that cloud coming in as we get towards 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So that is going to affect the breeze, and will keep it just slightly cloudier and less able to, produce a good sea breeze. So let's take a look at the HRR wind model, which is one of our higher resolution models. There is another one that we can look at, but it hasn't been the highest accuracy out of everything lately. So we're going to mostly look at the HRR. So we see that we've got kind of this dying, if we look at 11 o'clock, kind of this dying northeast, turning more east and southeast, and then getting very light the further west you go. That's going to kind of continue for the next hour or so. And as I mentioned, it's going to turn more southeast, especially up between Greenwich and Stamford. And really, the best chance for a sea breeze is going to be basically to the northeast and going up the sound. In the extreme western part of the sound here, it is going to be difficult for a sea breeze to form, just with the lack of real space for it and with all the clouds coming in as well. So as the afternoon goes on, we get to 12 or 1 o'clock, we may have just very, very slight kind of east, maybe a little bit southeast in here, but I think this is mostly going to be under 5 knots, which makes it really hard to get exact wind directions right. Along the Long Island side, the breeze will be trying to turn more kind of northeast, and I think it will try to be doing almost a little bit of a sea breeze on the Long Island side, especially close to Bayville. Again, further west, I don't think there's much hope for really anything. But there maybe is a little bit of hope for some northeast kind of streaming in from the eastern part of the sound here between 3 and 4 o'clock. So again, it looks very light, kind of between 12 and 1 2 o'clock, things are starting to potentially shift into more of a sea breeze scenario further north. And then between 3 and 4, we may get just a little bit of a resurgence of this east northeast breeze. And again, remember at this point, it's going to be clouding up. So if it gets really cloudy, that actually may help things because it may shut the sea breeze down and it may allow some of the gradient to come back in. So it's one of those things. We either want it to be really sunny so we have sea breeze, or we want it to be really cloudy so that we have gradient. And right today, we're just kind of in the middle. So you may see more left shifted breeze on the Long Island side where it's trying to be more northeast. But again, numbers are very light here. We're probably below 5 knots. And then as you go to the Connecticut side, that's where the stronger breeze will be, maybe up from 5, 6, 7 knots. 7 is the highest I have, and it's probably going to happen up here closer to Greenwich. And anywhere from kind of an east northeast to east southeast. So lots of variability here, but we see around 4 o'clock just a little bit of a resurgence of the gradient. So that may come in just before we get a switch into the south. So late evening, I don't think this is going to be so much happening for the race time because it's between 5 and 6 p.m. But between 5 and 6 p.m., we get the southerly coming up from the Atlantic that pushes into the sound. But that's going to take a while to get in there. So again, that's probably much more late in the day, but it's good to know that that's coming just in case you start to see a southerly and it's building, then you know, oh, maybe it arrived a little bit sooner. But again, I'm thinking it's going to happen later. So let's take a look at the forecast after we have all those ingredients going on. Basically, what I've got here is Connecticut side in the top box and Long Island side in the bottom box. And we've got basically an east to east southeast, very light, under 4 knots, kind of through 2 p.m. Again, slightly stronger if you're going towards Greenwich and northeast of there. You may get up to like 5, 6, 7 knots up there. And then potentially just a little bit of an increase around 3 to 4 p.m. from that east-northeast direction. So we may see like 4 to 7. And then late day, maybe a southerly arriving around 6 o'clock. Again, Long Island side, very light here through probably 2, 3 o'clock. Maybe a little bit of northeast breeze if you're near Bayville on that side. So that's what we've got going on for today. Let's take a quick look at tomorrow for Sunday. So tomorrow, high pressure will still technically be in control, but as I mentioned, that low to the south is going to be kind of bumping its way northward. And so that's actually going to help things a little bit because it's bringing in a little bit more gradient. So we've got clouds in the morning. There's actually even just a very slight chance for a shower very early in the morning or overnight tonight. And then as the day goes on, the clouds are going to be clearing out, which is great. That's going to help our gradient mix down. So we've got basically kind of west to west-southwest early. Potentially any showers that could have happened early in the morning will be clearing out, and we should get clearing skies by about 12 o'clock around for start time. And a southwest breeze, 5 to 10 knots. May bump down just a little bit later afternoon and then bump back up at the very end of the day. So we're kind of in the 5 to 10 knot range, especially on the Connecticut side where it's a little stronger. The Long Island side will be just a little bit weaker, especially when it's more southerly. And it's going to back a little bit more on the Connecticut side. So we get more of a thermal effect as it backs to more 190, 200, whereas Long Island stays more west-southwest and a little bit lighter. But definitely should be a little bit more breeze tomorrow, a little bit more sunshine tomorrow, and overall, I think pretty good racing for the weekend. So good luck, everybody. Have fun, and we will talk to you next weekend.